A lot of medium compounds from these drivers here thus far in the race. Most of these drivers having qualified on the mediums in the qualifying session. To go down the grid once again here, it's Azair in pole position here. The Renault of Persian King lines up next to him on the front row. Lando and Nixana 3 and 4. Cabadoom 5th next to his teammate Pasic in 6th. Skybits in the Williams 7th here. Kalusa is 8th. Little Bear 9th in the Renault. Carries rounds off the top 10 in the Mercedes. Olipop 11th in the McLaren. Jeb and his teammate K4 round off 12 and 13. Silence in 14th in the Williams. He'll be looking to catch up with his teammate. Byron in the Toro Rosso is 15th. Hollow, who we saw retire very early in qualifying, is in 16th in that McLaren. BJ in the Racing Point, who also retired in the qualifying session, will be 17th. And to round things off at the back of the grid, it's Tiger Racing, who I do believe was unable to set a proper lap in qualifying, as he's very slow now, looking to catch up the queue for the warm-up lap. Very eager to see what these drivers are able to pull out of this race here in Baku. Of course, it is going to be 26 laps of racing action here for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, it is ERS Season 6, Tier 3 Division, Round 4. My name is Stryfium, and thank you for tuning in along with me on this adventure. Definitely hoping to have a good race here today. As these drivers now coming to the end of the formation lap, the AI takes control of their cars to ensure that they get a nice, proper grid formation. As these drivers now got those revs up, 3, 4, 5 lights on here in Baku, and it's lights out and we're off here racing. Bit of an issue there at the start. Not too sure what was going on there, as all of these drivers have now scattered off the grid. Big slide there from Skybits into turn 1 there. Tire's not hot enough as he has some issues, and his teammate into the wall now. That's Silence. Ooh, and there's tons of contact here, and as can be expected, we have a safety car here in the first lap of this race. Very, very, very unfortunate there for a lot of these drivers having suffered contact here. Fortunately, with the safety car, they will be able to get some wings changed over. You can see Silence there. He had a very, very tough time with the wall Skybits. Unfortunately, he went wide, losing that front left end plate. What a crazy start to this race here in Baku. So safety car is out, it is deployed, and definitely a cluster of collisions and issues here on the opening lap of Baku, but it is, of course, Baku. So that can be expected. It is a very tight circuit. Like mentioned earlier in qualifying, Daniel Ricciardo describes it as a cage. So Nixana is currently up into the lead. As you can see here, this is how the grid has scattered. Nixana is up 3 positions. Persian King comfortably in that second position still. Cabadoom in that Ferrari has jumped up 2 slots. Azair in the Red Bull has dropped back from pole position. He is now in 4th. Lando, of course, dropping back 2 positions. A couple of people definitely won out here. Little Bear moving up 3 slots. He's into 6th now in that Renault. BJ in the Racing Point made out like an absolute bandit here, jumping up 10 positions. Kalusa, he's stuck where he started here in 8th, having to avoid a lot of contact here. You can see he's had a bit of contact himself, missing that front right end plate. A couple of these drivers going to be jumping into the pits now for wing changes. Carries moved up a slot. He's in 9th for the time being. Jeb, very nice from him in the Haas. He's into the points for the time being, moving up 2 positions. Hollow up 5 slots. Olipop down 1. Pasek, probably one of the most notable drops here. He drops back quite a few positions as a lot of these drivers now move into the pits. So we'll revisit that a little later on now. So Kalusa, Skybits, Azair, Byron, Lando, Silence, and Pasek all jumping into the pits for wing and tire changes. We'll see how that impacts their race down the line. It's definitely been a shaky first lap here in Azerbaijan. So safety car still out, of course. Going to wait for these drivers to catch the safety car queue. Hopefully we'll get a good chunk of green flag racing here once the safety car comes in. We'll probably see that safety car come in at the end of lap 3 if I had to guess. Like I mentioned before the stream had begun, Baku never ceases to disappoint for pure entertainment value. So lap 1 safety car here in Baku as we see Nixana trying to keep nice and close, moving up through Castle section here. Persian King sticking nice and tight to him in P2. As the safety car crosses Sector 3, we'll find out whether or not it will be joining us in the pits for this lap. But like I said before, I have a feeling it won't be coming in until the end of lap 3. Take a look at the grid now to see who still is driving with wing damage. K4 takes a 5-second penalty for exceeding track limits. Very, very important for these drivers not to exceed track limits or cut any corners under safety car conditions, because it can be seen as reckless driving when under these conditions, and the stewards absolutely hammering penalties for the drivers when they do things like that. So definitely something to avoid. Nixana, no wing damage. Persian King, no wing damage. Kabadoom doesn't look to have any damage either, as we'll wait to see what Little Bear's car is looking like. He's got no front end damage either. BJ in the Racing Point, he's made a massive leap here, but he does have some front end wing damage on the front right there. Carries in the Mercedes. We'll have to take a look at his car, as Tiger Racing has a severe collision with Olipop. It's a safety car, guys. Let's keep it nice and tidy. The race isn't happening at the moment. Things are just, you know, calm, waiting for everybody to get their things sorted out in their car. Drivers wanting to try and keep these tires nice and warm. No damage on the front of that Haas, it doesn't look like, so that's good for Jeb. Actually, I apologize. K4 has no damage. Jeb does have a little bit of front end damage on the end plate there. He's missing his front right end plate. Olipop and Azair in 10th and 11th here. Doesn't look like either of them have any damage. And the safety car is going to be coming in this lap, so we are going to jump on over to Nixana. As you'll see, he is going to slow down this pack big time as he waits for that safety car to come into the pits, so that he's able to have a nice jump on lap 4 here. So as I assumed, the safety car coming in at the end of lap 3 here. Persian King making sure he sticks right to the rear of that Toro Rosso here. He wants to get a good jump. Safety car waiting for all those drivers to catch up here. we're going to go on board with Kabadoum as he has a front row seat to what's going to go down here as we go racing here. Persian King jumping ahead of Nixana already, but he's got to slow things down. Almost brake checks his teammate Little Bear. Kabadoum's not having any of it. Persian King, a little weave over into the center of the circuit here, but he jumps onto that outside line. The Ferrari here getting a very good exit out of turn 1 with those soft compound tires. Very easy for those tires to heat up here after safety car conditions, and Persian has a little bit of a run-in with the wall there on turn 2. He drops back into 4th from 2nd now at the safety car restart. So far, fairly clean on the restart here. This is what we want to see. Looks like Olipop had a bit of an issue there, and Byron went into the pits at the restart, which is not something I would recommend here, but we've had a little bit of a shuffle now. Looks like a Renault front end plate there. It looks like Little Bear losing some of his car. Major damage on the front end of that Renault. He is going to be losing time very, very quick here, as he doesn't have much of a gap to the cars behind him. Azair has moved up from, I do believe, 11th into 6th now on those softs. He's currently half a second behind Persian King. Persian King, some major damage on the front right wing of his car as well. He's going to be dropping back. So now we have a VSC here on lap 4. So far here in Baku, we have yet to have a full lap of green flag racing. VSC out now as we move through into Sector 3. You can see Persian's car there missing a lot of that front right wing, so we'll have to see what he chooses to do here. It's going to impact his race majorly. BJ has retired from the session. Not too sure where his car is on the circuit at the moment, but he has retired out of this race after 3 laps. Persian, yes, going into the pits now for a wing change. Little Bear, his teammate, as well going into the pits. That's going to be huge, 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 huge for the Renault. Lack of communication there. Persian getting his wing and tires changed over, and now Little Bear is going to get caught with the double stack in the pits. As the VSC has now come offline, we're back to green flag racing here through turn 3. It's Nixana currently in the lead of the race in the Toro Rosso. Kabadoum in 2nd, carries in 3rd, and Hollow in that McLaren is now into 4th. Very, very nice from the McLaren driver. He has jumped up quite a massive amount here. He's moved up 12 positions from where he started in this race. Very, very nice from him. He is on the medium compound tires, of course. Kabadoum definitely going to be struggling shortly here on those softs, as the tire degradation here in Azerbaijan is quite severe for those soft tires. As the Red Bull looks to make a move down the inside of the McLaren here through Sector 2, and he makes a very, very nice pass on the McLaren, moving down into turn 15, I believe. So he's made that move stick on the McLaren quite well. The Red Bull, of course, having started on pole position, is going to be looking to make up some ground here through lap 5, moving up into lap 6 now. Not too much going on with the Haas driver of Jeb. He's currently 3.2 behind P5. He's nice and comfortable in P6, though. K4, his teammate, having a bit of an issue there in turn 1. He is off. Very unfortunate for the Haas teammate. So now the Williams drivers up into 9 and 10 here. Skybit's very, very close to the rear of his teammate with the DRS down the Sector 1 main straight. We'll see if he wants to make a move here on his teammate Silence, keeping it nice and patient, though, through turn 3. Carries. Looking like he had a bit of an issue shifting up his gears there as he comes down into the castle section now, very, very close to the rear of Kabadoum. And there's another VSC here already in Baku. Outside of the first 6 laps of the race, we've had a full safety car and 2 VSCs already. So very, very unfortunate for some of these drivers, not able to keep things super tidy in the opening phase of this race. Not too sure what the rush is. It's a very long race, 26 laps here in Baku. Safety car back in there. Looks like the Ferrari Cabadoum might get caught sleeping here by the Mercedes, as we'll stick on board with him. He looks to make a move on the Ferrari. A little bit of a tap on the rear of the Ferrari there, but the Mercedes is going to have the DRS moving down through into the start-finish line. Very, very nice from the Mercedes of Carey's, making it work, overtaking the Ferrari of Cabadoum. Like I said before, Cabadoum going to start to feel the tire wear on those softs very, very soon if he hasn't already. He'll be looking to stick to the rear of the Mercedes, though, in the DRS zone. Azair rubbing his hands together, watching this all unfold now. He's in P4, currently less than a second separating him and the fight for P2. Carey's and Cabadoum fighting. Azair looking for an opportunity. A little bit of contact there from Azair on the back left of the Ferrari. Hollow in the McLaren also looking to capitalize on this opportunity. Jeb too far back to do anything about it. Lando now looks like he might get a send on the Haas driver as we come up through into Sector 2 out of Castles. I wouldn't do it at any other moment here. Jeb struggling a little bit there to get on the power. Lando being very, very patient, not making any mistakes, trying to wait for an opportunity. If we see anything happen here, it could happen on this back straight, but I don't recommend anything going into turn 15. It's a very, very tight turn. Lando doing a very good job of sticking with the Haas driver, except not making any mistakes, not taking any unnecessary risks here. He is going to have the DRS moving through into lap 8, so we'll probably see an overtake on Jeb in a moment, unless Jeb can do a very nice job of defending here, picking his track position wisely. And there goes Lando around the inside of Jeb. Pasek and the Ferrari watching all of this unfold as well. He's going to have the DRS now on Jeb as well, moving down into turn 1. He looks to make a move down the inside now. Jeb sticking with Lando on the rear there. Jeb letting the Ferrari driver by. He does have wing damage on the front right of that car, so that is definitely going to be impacting his pace here. Skybit's currently 2 seconds behind the Haas driver in the Williams. His teammates drop back into 14th. Olipop in 10th, Kalusa 11th, Persian back into 12th place. He suffered some major wing damage there on turn 2 earlier after the safety car restart. He'll be looking to absolutely charge on those soft tires. Could be expecting another safety car here to play into his favor when he goes into the pits to change those over. Azair and Cabadoum still fighting for P2 here. Cabadoum and Azair on those soft compound tires. They're going to start to feel the tire degradation soon. Carey's on the 7-lap-old mediums. Not too much to worry about for him at the moment, as he's going to be waiting for those soft tires to drop off from the Ferrari and Red Bull drivers. Lando looking like he's got some solid pace on those soft compounds. He's looking to catch Hollow very, very soon. Pasek behind him on the mediums, 6-lap-old tires. Very, very soon we'll see the tires equalize for Pasek and Lando. Pasek shouldn't have too much difficulty catching up to the Red Bull. Skybits has an overtake on Jeb here, moving down through Sector 3 into Turn 1. Like I said before, Jeb not having a good chance against some of these drivers with that front right wing damage. Definitely affecting his pace here so far in Baku. And there he is, into the wall. No! Very unfortunate for Jeb here, and Olipop taps the curb and almost flies into the wall of Turn 2. Jeb not going to be happy about that. He has severe wing damage on the front right of that car. He's got absolutely no downforce on that side, so any right turn's going to be very, very difficult for him. Persian King jumps ahead of Olipop. Now Olipop struggling. Persian King absolutely flying on the soft compounds, doing what he can before those tires fall off. He's now back into 9th position, into the points comfortably. He'll be looking to catch that Haas driver very, very soon. So now Pasek into P6, Lando P5, Kabadoom P4, and Azair in P3. Kabadoom and Lando and Azair, all of them on the soft compound tires. Azair and Lando with the 1 lap fresher tires. Nixana currently 5.2 seconds ahead of position 2. Mercedes driver carries. Azair looking to regain hopefully the race win here, as he was leading the race at the beginning with that pole position start. Nixana though looking very, very competitive on those mediums, as Azair goes for the undercut on Kabadoom, except Kabadoom saying no way, I'm jumping into the pits with you. Lando moves up into 4th. Pasek into 3rd though. A lot of drivers jumping into the pits now, looking for fresh tires. Azair and Kabadoom both jumping onto the hards. Very, very interesting from them with 27 laps to go here. Sorry, 17 laps to go. K4 struggling here. We can see him being passed by Pasek. Kalusa in the Alfa Romeo now. He's up into 8th. He'll be looking to overtake the McLaren of Olipop. Olipop might have some front wing damage there. And there's a retirement from Azair. We have a VSC, and Azair, where did he crash that car? And he's into turn 3. Oh no, Azair has not had a good couple of races these past 2 race weekends. Unfortunately, he had a brutal race in China, and now it's even worse here in Baku, and we have another VSC. So that's 3 VSCs here so far in Baku. Not going according to plan for these drivers at all. So he is out. I'm actually quite surprised we haven't seen a full safety car for that. Looked to be quite the collision with the turn 3 wall. Jeb pitted now. He's gotten a fresh wing, as you can see here, and some nice fresh hard compound tires. He'll be looking to catch up the grid now. A lot of drivers yet to pit here, so if Jeb can do a good job of making up some good time here, he has a chance to get himself into a solid points position. As you can see, a lot of these drivers from 8th up into the race lead, all on older tires than Jeb. Kabadoom on the hards as well now, as there's another Sector 2 yellow flag. Very, very unfortunate for the pole sitter in this race, Azair. Lando into the pits for hards now. Olipop fighting with Kalusa. Kalusa missing a front right end plate there. Olipop, no damage on that car, taking things easy. He is going to have the DRS on the Alfa Romeo coming down through into turn 3 now. We'll see if he can make a move. Should be a fairly even fight between these 2 drivers, as their tire wear is very, very close. Going up through Castle section now. Neat and tidy from all 3 of these drivers. Of course, it is a fight for P6 right now between Olipop and Kalusa. Coming down the Sector 2 back zone here, overtaking, I do believe that's K4, the back marker. Oh, and K4 into the wall at turn 15. As you can see there, he had a bit of a brush against that wall there. He's going to lose some of that front right wing. Olipop now. Not a lot of battery charge at the moment. He'll be looking to make a move here on the Alfa Romeo. He should have DRS coming through down into turn 1 now as we come across the pit straight. He's got absolutely no battery charge in that car. He's coming into the pits on the 10-lap-old mediums. We'll see what he decides to switch over to here. Olipop looks like he's taking a stop-go penalty there, serving a little bit of time in the pits. Little Bear now moves up into 10th in that Renault, as Olipop will look to come out of the pits here. Jeb coming across turn 1 here. Is he going to get ahead of Olipop? It doesn't look like it, but he is going to have those hard tires nice and warm by now. He is going to have DRS on the McLaren driver moving through sector 1 here. There's the back marker of K4 with severe wing damage at the moment. Jeb looking to catch up to the McLaren and take a position from him now. Nice clean wing from the Haas driver, so hopefully he'll be able to make up some positions here, as we're going to jump back over to Nixana, who's pitted for hards. He's come out in 4th position here. He is on the rear of the Williams Skybits, who we saw take a podium in Bahrain earlier this season. We'll be looking to repeat that performance. Currently in 3rd, fighting off the Toro Rosso of Nixana on the fresh hards as we move through sector 3. No doubt in my mind, Nixana going to have the DRS here moving down the pit straight. Skybits and Nixana fighting it out right now. Skybits on the inside of Nixana. Nixana dropping back just a little bit through this turn here. He's going to have that outside line coming into turn 2. A little bit of a tap on the rear of the Williams there, but he is going to have the DRS on the Williams moving through the sector 1 main straight down into turn 3, and that should be a very easy move for the Toro Rosso, and it is. As we move down into turn 3, we'll see if Skybits is able to make a switchback up into turn 4. Looks like he is dropping back a bit. He does have those 11-lap-old medium compound tires. Persian King watching all of this unfold in P4 at the moment. He's going to start to feel some wear on those softs. I'm sure a lot of these drivers are a little puzzled at the moment with the lack of full safety cars we've had. We have had 1 full safety car here that came out on lap 1, as well as 3 VSCs so far in this campaign. Persian King now up through Castle, watching Skybits try to stick to the rear of that Toro Rosso. Skybits gonna have those nice and warm medium tires, of course. They're gonna have some wear on them, not as much traction as he'd like. Nixana on the fresh hard compound tires. He'll be looking to catch up with Pasic shortly, as Pasic currently leading this race in the Ferrari as he comes around sector 3 on the 11-lap-old mediums. Jump to the back of the grid for a moment here, as we have Silence currently in 15th in the Williams, not doing as well as his teammate at the moment. Byron 14th in the Toro Rosso. He'll be looking to catch things up later on here in the race. We are at the halfway point in the race, mind you. It is lap 14 out of 26 now as Pasic crosses the line. Skybits and Persian King now. This is very interesting. The Williams and Renault drivers pitting at the exact same time. Persian King looks like he was looking to see what Skybits was going to do. Doesn't look like either of them are going to need wing changes, so that could be very, very important here. Skybits jumping onto the hard compound, Persian onto the mediums, and it's very, very tight as these drivers come out of the pits now. Persian King getting the better of that one onto the mediums now. He is out in front of Skybits. It's going to be Cabadoom, though, in P8 looking to fight these guys on his 4-lap-old hard tires. He's going to have the DRS on Skybits. Skybits should have DRS on Persian King as well. Looks like he's going to try and weave to lose the slipstream of that Ferrari. Carries. Very, very close to the rear of Calusa, moving through sector 2 now, up into the Castle section. We're going to jump on over with him as they are up ahead on the grid at the moment. Could be seeing pit stops from Calusa and Pasic within the next 2 laps, as they'll want to maintain race position as best they can instead of losing time on the older compound tires, as a lot of these drivers on the fresher tires. Jeb in P12 at the moment. Not too much going on with the Haas driver. We'll switch on over to him once something is happening. Hopefully we can see him catch up to P11 shortly here. He is on the fresher tires than Tiger Racing, as Carries very close to the rear of this Alfa Romeo coming through the DRS pit straight. He should be able to make a move here. Pasic now into the pits. Kalusa more than likely going to be pitting here, and he does. So Nick Sana back into lead of this race in the Toro Rosso. Carries is going to jump into second position. As we can see, Pasic just leaving the pits now. Carries has made that move very nicely up into P2 with the 2-lap old hards. He will be looking to go the distance on those tires. Pasic keeping it nice and tidy through turn 2 there on the fresh hards, not having the tire temperatures yet. He did the braking very, very well there. Lando in P4, though, he's currently within a second of Pasic on the 4-lap old hards. He's going to look to make up some track position, hopefully get himself on the podium. And it's Skybits and Cabadoom fighting once again here. Skybits into P7. Cabadoom taking the position on him, but they are fighting wheel to wheel. Very, very tight there from Skybits, just getting that move done on the switchback through turn 4. Now turns 5 and 6. Skybits still in the lead here. Cabadoom did have a little bit of a brush against the wall there. We'll have to take a look at the front end of that Ferrari to see if he suffered any damage. Looks like he didn't, though. Skybits coming up through Castle now. We'll take a look at the front end as he comes out. Hopefully no damage from him either, and making this a very interesting battle. And it looks like both of these drivers driving with clean wings at the moment. It's Persian King in P5 on the mediums. Only driver in the top 10 right now on the medium compound tire. He's going to be looking to go the distance on those as well. Now, Tiger Racing has a huge collision coming out of Castles here. Jeb is going to be loving that in the Haas as he moves up into P11. Very, very unfortunate for the Alpha of Tiger Racing as he's now dropped back into 14th position here. Byron and Little Bear also getting the better of him there. Coming out through into Sector 3 now is Jeb. He's currently just shy of 2 seconds off the rear of Kalusa. Jeb going to be wanting to get into those points. Kalusa is fresh out of the pits on those hards. May not have them up to temperature yet. And there's a huge crash from Jeb in Sector 3. He is out of this session. He smashed into what looked like the left wall, bouncing around in that tight zone in Sector 3, and the Haas driver of Jeb is out of this race. What an upset. A lot of drivers or viewers here going to be upset about that. Now Kalusa into the pits here as we have a full safety car as a result of Jeb going into the wall. Now, Kalusa in that Alfa Romeo getting a fresh wing and tires here, going onto the softs to look to finish 10 laps on those. Could we possibly see pit stops from any of our top 10 drivers right now, considering a lot of them have pitted already? Nick Sana on the 4-lap old hards, Carey on the 3-lap old hards. Pasic has just come out the pits in that Ferrari on the hard compound. Lando P5 or P4 at the moment on the 5-lap old hards. Persian King up into 5th on the mediums. Definitely, if I was Persian King, I'd be staying out here, but of course it's his race and he knows better than I, so we'll see what he looks to do there on the mediums. Skybits P6. If you're Skybits right now, you got to be staying out. You've definitely got to be staying out here, because if any of those front runners pit, he's going to be up into a solid track position. And it's Nick Sana on the 5-lap old hards. He breaks the ice here for the top runners as he jumps into the pits. Skybits, no, he takes a fucking drive-through penalty, excuse my language, for speeding under the safety car. He is not going to be happy about that. He goes into the pits, making this thing even worse. He's not going to be able to serve that penalty under safety car conditions. So the pit crew is going to come out for Williams here. Oh. No, Skybits, no. Very, very unfortunate for the Williams driver there. He was in a great track position. All he had to do is stay out, serve that drive-through penalty post safety car, and he may have come out in the points now. That is going to be much more difficult for him. Nick Sana coming out on the mediums, which is going to be the fastest tire here for the remaining laps in this race. I believe, anyway. We'll see if we get pit stops out of Lando or Carey's, but it looks like Nick Sana is going to be in a comfortable 4th position right now on the fresher medium compound. Persian King going to be behind him when the safety car restarts. All of these drivers getting their pit stops sorted and catching up to the safety car. Now we're going to take a look at the position changes here. Now, none of these drivers, fortunately, have been lapped at this time, which means that all 14 drivers on the grid are going to be required to catch up to the safety car, making the last phase of this race very, very interesting. As you can see, silence in the Williams. Fresh wing on that car, only 30 seconds behind the safety car at the moment. Actually, it's quite a significant chunk more than that, but he's a minute 38 behind at the moment, but he has not been lapped. So he will be looking to catch up to that safety car queue. I have a feeling that safety car will be coming in either at the end of lap 18 or at the end of lap 19. One or the other. We'll have a look at the stops here so far in this race. 18 drivers in the race, 4 of them unable to complete their race here in Azerbaijan. You can see BJ was the first to go, Azair second, K4 and Jeb unable to finish for the Haas team. Silence with 3 stops, Tiger Racing 2 stops, Kalusa 3 stops, Little Bear 2 stops, Byron and Skybits 3 stops apiece, Kabadoom 2 stops, Olipop and Hollow in the McLarens 1 stop apiece, Persian King, Nixana, Lando, and Pasek all with the 2 stop, and Carey on the 1 stop currently in the lead of this race in the Mercedes. Fastest lap of the race so far, guys, is a 142.692, as I just want to apologize to Azure correcting me on his name pronunciation. I apologize, Azure, because I've had about 6 people tell me it's pronounced in 6 different ways. I do believe some friends of yours last week coming in the chat telling me that. So maybe get those guys under control and I can start pronouncing your name properly. So safety car here on lap 18 up through Castle section. We have a nice front wing view from the Mercedes of Carey's there. As the safety car crosses into Sector 3 now, race control should tell us whether or not it will be in this lap or not. Just waiting on silence to catch up to the grid. Currently 26 behind Tiger Racing in P13. And it looks like we're going to have one more lap of safety car here in Baku. So I do believe safety car will be coming in at the end of lap 19. Meaning that we are going to have 7 laps of green flag racing. So far the grid carries in P1, Pasek in P2 in that Ferrari, and Lando's Milkman in P3. The front 3 drivers at the moment, very reminiscent of the 2019 championship, as we have Mercedes, Ferrari, and the Red Bull in the top 3 at the moment. Nixana looking to pounce, I'm sure, when this safety car comes in. He is currently in P4. Persian King P5 in the Renault. Hollow and Olipop have to be happy with where they're at right now for the McLarens, 6 and 7 respectively. Kabadoom in 8th in that Ferrari. Skybits, P9 in the Williams. Byron in P10 in the other Toro Rosso. Little Bear P11 in the Renault Calusa P12. Tiger Racing in P13. And Silence is P14. As we come up through Castle section, now moving into the Sector 2 back straights. This is going to be a very, very exciting restart here. I'm hoping I'll be able to catch all of the super fun moments for all of you. And race control informs us that the safety car will, in fact, be in this lap. So, Carey's in the Mercedes is going to be backing up the grid now, looking to get a proper start here. Or maybe not, as he is completely... He's going very quick behind the safety car here. Okay, now we should be back to green flag racing. There's a collision with the McLaren into the pit wall. They go, and there goes Hollow and Cabadoon, both out of this session here at the restart. Very unfortunate there from those drivers. Wow, what an exciting restart from those two guys. Huge. So we are going to have yellow flags here. I don't believe we're going to see a safety car for that, as we just saw the safety car come in. Carey's in the lead still. Pasic P2. Lando's dropped back now. Looks like he slept the start there. Of course, the drivers ahead of him all on fresher compound tires. Pasic in P2, flying behind the rear of that Mercedes. He is on fresher tires, so we'll see if he's able to maintain a proper gap. Nixana on the freshest compound tires out of all of the drivers remaining in this race. He will be looking to retake the race lead in a few laps, I'm sure. Persian King now on the mediums, looking to maintain a nice close racing position on the rear of that Toro Rosso. As we have Ollie. Oh my God. Oh my God. Massive carnage here in Castles. Massive. Absolute massive carnage here. We've already seen 5 safety cars here in Baku, 3 VSCs and 2 full safety cars so far here. As you see Calusa trying to reverse out of that mess. Skybits taking massive wing damage on the front of his car. Olipop, what's happened to Olipop? Where is he on circuit at the moment? Looks like he is in Sector 3. We'll see if Calusa has a view of what happened to the McLaren driver. There's Olipop there into the wall here. Oh my God. What are we seeing here in Azerbaijan? This is absolute carnage, as Nixana now through turn 2. He's up into second place. Persian in P3, looking to wrap up that podium with 6 laps of racing to go here. Unbelievable. Unbelievable here on the restart of the safety car. Absolute carnage and wreckage here on lap 20. Is what we saw. Now into lap 21, we see Tiger Racing, Little Bear, Skybits, Silence, and Byron all into the pits. We'll have to see if Skybits actually goes into the pits or not, as he, I do believe, still has to serve a drive-through penalty. And there's a double stack from the Williams drivers in the pits now, but all drivers remaining in this race are going to be looking to score points. So we began this campaign with 18 drivers, and we're down to only 10. Absolute carnage here. Skybits now out of the pits first here in the Williams on the soft compound. Excuse me, Tiger Racing exited the pits first now. As we see, the top 5 drivers did not need to pit. They were able to keep things relatively clean here after the safety car restart. Carey's still maintaining that lead on the hard compound tires. Nixana very close to him though. The top 4 right now all running, or sorry, the top 5 all running in within 5 seconds of one another right now. So it's 5 seconds separating 5 to P1. DRS now enabled here on lap 22 as Carries crosses the line. Persian King looking to capitalize, get ahead of Nixana as there's been what looked like a disconnect from Carries for a moment there. Hopefully he's able to be back in his car. It looks like he is, so he's going to be able to continue racing here. Pasek a little bit off the front runners at the moment as the battle for first is currently ensuing here through turn 4. Carries and Nixana very close there. Very reminiscent of what we saw between Skybits and, I want to say, Olipop earlier. Persian King, very important to stay patient here. He is going to have a little bit more tire wear on his tires than Nixana does. But his tires should definitely be faster than the race leader here. The race leader Carries using every single ounce of track position he's got in order to defend against these two. Pasek, though, catching up through sector 2, moving down into turn 15 here. Skybits, his race has not gone the way he's wanted it. He's just taken 10 seconds in penalties for speeding into the pit lane and then crossing the pit lane exit line on the way out. Fortunately for him, though, there isn't much further back he can go in this race, considering there are only 10 drivers remaining. So hopefully he'll be able to secure some points here. If he's able to maintain a solid gap ahead of his teammate Silence, he should be able to finish where he's sitting in P8 at the moment. Carries has fallen back into position 2 now as Nixana has overtaken him down the pit straight. Nixana now back in lead of this race after a very, very eventful third phase here. Carries on the 10-lap-old hards. He's going to have to work to maintain DRS on the driver in front in order to keep Persian King at bay. Persian King on the podium as things stand right now. Of course, these drivers have 4 laps to go in order to keep things clean out of the wall and nice and tidy to finish off with a good haul of points. Lando in that Red Bull, of course, our Australian and Bahrain Grand Prix winner, not having the race he wanted to have in Shanghai. A little better of a performance from him here in Baku. Hopefully he's able to finish on the podium as Pasek now overshoots the braking zone down into Castle, decides to go into that runoff area. He's able to get things backed up in time ahead of Tiger Racing. He is going to be in 5th now. He loses a massive amount of time to the Red Bull of Lando. Lando now coming through turn 15, looking to make up some time on Persian King, but for the time being, the battle to be watching is Persian King versus Carries here, as Carries is going to be out of DRS range of the race leader. And Persian King going to have DRS now moving down the pit straight in sector 3. You can see Persian there. Carries moving to the inside, hugging that pit lane wall. Persian goes on the outside now. As we come down into turn 1, we see a little bit of an overtake from Persian there. A little bit of contact from the front right of that Mercedes on the rear of Persian King's car, but fairly neat and tidy overtake there from the Renault driver of Persian King as he's now up into 2nd position. Carries struggling on those 11-lap-old hards. You can see he's slipped a bit into turn 2. A little bit of a rub against that outside wall. Carries in the Mercedes in P3 now. Now, as we look to finish the last 3 laps of the race here, they have to complete lap 24, 25, and 26. Lando, what has happened to Lando? And he's crashed at Castle. Oh dear, not the race that Lando wanted to have at all. As his car has completely blocked the Ferrari of Pasek. Pasek going to lose a ton of time to the podium runners. Very unfortunate here for the Red Bull. So Lando going to be dropping back now into P10 after that DNF on the 13-lap-old hards. Pasek up into P4 now. Everybody's going to move up a position from P6 down to P10. They are all going to shift one place ahead. This race has been absolutely thrilling with the amount of overtaking, collisions, safety cars. I have to say, Baku never disappoints. So Pasic, not too sure how to pronounce the name. I do my best. He's now into the pits on the hards. He's jumping onto the softs. He's got quite a gap between him and the alpha of Tiger Racing. Tiger Racing just flying through Sector 3 at the moment. Pasic already at Turn 1 coming out of the pits here. So he is going to have quite a little bit of room to play with here as he comes out looking to get those soft tires warm for the last 2 laps of the race. Could see a fastest lap time from him. We'll take a look at what that is at the moment. Little Bear in P6 in that Renault looking for that extra point with the 141.927. The fastest lap of the campaign thus far. What a race, guys. What a race. Now Persian King looking to strike soon here as he is now within a second of our race leader, Nick Sana. We'll have to go on board with him in a moment as he looks to catch up to the Toro Rosso. Don't know if he's going to have the DRS here. He's not going to have the DRS on Nick Sana, so that's huge for the Toro Rosso driver currently running the lead of this race. Persian King going to have to do a very good job to catch up to Nick Sana here. You have to keep in mind Persian King on the 12-lap-old mediums versus the 9-lap-old mediums of Nick Sana. Carries in third, 3.5 seconds away from second position at the moment. Persian King doing everything he can here to stay within the DRS of Nick Sana. Nick Sana and Persian King both using a fairly good amount of their batteries at the moment. Coming up through Castle, trying to keep it nice and tidy. Persian King very, very close to the rear of that Toro Rosso as there's a bit of debris flying off of the Renault. That's Persian King into the rear of Toro Rosso Nick Sana as we come down through into Sector 3 now. Persian King not going to be happy about that. You can see he's missing that front left end plate here, but he is going to have DRS down this main straight here. Ooh, look at the speed out of this Renault. Even with that front wing damage missing, he is going to have a little bit of issues cornering. But he is ahead of the Toro Rosso Nick Sana. Now Nick Sana with the DRS. Looks like he's tricked Persian King. Persian King, no DRS as Nick Sana now crosses the line with the win. Wow, what a tight race win here for Nick Sana. Persian King finishing second, carries in third. And that, ladies and gentlemen, wraps up the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. There are your podium finishers. Nick Sana in first, Persian King in second, and carries in third in the Mercedes. A very nice performance from Persian King. As you can see here, he's moved up quite a few positions. Or sorry, carries, I meant to say, has moved up quite a few positions here. Up 7 positions, Nick Sana from P4 to P1. Very nice race from him. Persian King, having started in second position, just maintains that qualifying position with the second place finish here. It's going to be Pasic in the Ferrari crossing the line fourth here in Baku. Tiger Racing fifth in the Alfa Romeo. Little Bear in sixth in the Renault Skybits. He's going to have some penalties here. We'll see what kind of role those play as he's looking to cross and finish in seventh as Byron comes down the pit straight now in the Toro Rosso. Where will Skybits finish? Will the penalties play that big of a role here in his finish? Hopefully not, as he's in seventh at the moment. Byron looking to cross the line in eighth, and he stays eighth here. silence in what seems to be a battle for survival for the Williams driver. He finishes the race in 10th, and there you have it, folks. That was a very, very interesting race to broadcast today. Of course, that was ERS Season 6, Tier 3 Division, round number 4, the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. There is Nick Sanis Toro Rosso as he claims victory here in Baku. Persian King and carries second and third. You can see the Renault and Mercedes there on screen.